All right, I'm going to go over the steps to dividing fractions and then I'll talk about mixed numbers. Right after I go over the steps for dividing fractions. And this is something you did last year. It's just a recall, but just with signs, positives and negatives. So the first thing is going to be number one, to convert any mixed numbers to improper fractions. And make sure you're taking notes. Now, if you don't have any mixed numbers, then you just go on to step two, okay? But first thing is convert any mixed numbers to improper fractions. The second thing will be to, keep, change, flip. That means you're going to keep the first fraction. You're going to keep it the same. And then you're going to change division to multiplication. And you're going to flip the second fraction. Once you change your division and multiplication, you can just apply your multiplication rules. And I'm going to need a little more room. And then you're going to simplify. So you're going to apply your multiplication rules and then simplify. Hey, Leanne, everything okay? I don't know what's going on with it. It's cooling. So we're going to convert any mixed number to an improper fraction. Number two, we're going to keep, change, flip. We'll keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. All this goes with number two. Number three, we're going to apply multiplication rules, and number four, we'll simplify. So make sure you write that down. Another important note that you want to write down is to place all whole numbers over 1. So if you see a number like 7, just write it as 7 over 1. Same thing, even if it's negative. Just write it as negative 5 over 1, guys. And make sure you're pausing the video and taking notes. Okay, let's take a look at number 1. I don't see any mixed numbers, so I don't worry about that. So I'm going to keep, change, and flip. You only keep, change, flip on division or fractions. Please don't do it on multiplication. So we have negative 2/5. We're going to change this to times and flip 1 over 8, making it 8 over 1. Apply my multiplication rules. I get negative 16/5. And you know it's negative because you have a negative times a positive, which leaves you with a negative. Or you could just say different signs would produce a negative when you're multiplying or dividing. All right, but I need to simplify, so I'm going to need what I call T-bow, top in, bottom out. I'm going to change this improper fraction to a mixed number, guys. So when I say, well, how many groups of 5 can I get out of 16? I can get 3 groups of 5. 3 groups of 5 is 15. And it leaves me with a remainder of 1. So this is negative 3. And then it goes like the hands of a clock. 1, negative 3 and 1/5, guys. And that's simplified. Number 2 is written in what we call complex form. It's a complex fraction. It's a fraction within a fraction. If you see them written like this, just rewrite it as negative 3/4. And this bar is going to be representative of your division sign. So divided by negative 5/8. And then just keep, change, and flip. All right, so that'll be negative 3/4. I'm going to change division to multiplication and flip that. That'll be negative 8/5. I don't flip my negative sign. I just flip the numbers around. So if the negatives with the bar are in the numerator, I don't flip it, guys. I don't put the negative. I don't put the negative with the 5. I just keep it in the top. And then a negative times a negative leaves me with a positive. So that'll be a positive 24/20. I'm going to T-bow top and bottom out because I have an improper fraction. I can get one group of 20 out of 24. So this ends up being 1 and 4/20. But this also can be divided both of these can be divided by 4. That would give us 1 and 1/5, guys. And that's the answer in simplest form. Again, make sure you pause the video. All right, on number 3, I have a whole number or integer. I'm just going to place it over 1, and then I can keep, change, flip. So it's going to be 7/12. It's going to change division to multiplication and flip negative 2 over 1, making it negative 1 over 2. Again, I don't move that sign. I just flip the two numbers around. And then top times top and bottom times bottom. That's what I would get. It's not improper, so I'm going to leave it. If you're unsure of the sign, just use the smiley face. You got a positive times a negative, which will leave you with a negative. All right, pause the video, write down number 4, and we got to do something with number 4. On number 4, we have to change these mixed numbers to improper fractions. Now, when you're adding and subtracting, you do not have to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. So here I'm just going to multiply and then add. And just ignore the sign. 2 times 3 is 6. And add the 1, we get 7. So this would be negative 7 over 2 divided by, and then here, 9 times 1 is 9. And I want to add the 5. And I get 14. But I don't want to forget this sign. Negative 14/9. And then I'm simply going to keep, change, and flip. So that's negative 7/2 times negative 9/14. Use the smiling face for the sign. A negative times a negative is a positive. That's positive 63/28. Top and bottom, I'm going to T-bow because I got an improper fraction. All right, so let's see how many groups of 28 I can get out of 63. Well, 2 groups of 28 is 56. Anything more than that is going to be more than 63. So I'm going to have to regroup here. That will become a 5, and that will become a 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. So I end up with 2 and then 7/28. But both of these are divisible by 7. So when I simplify, it equals 2 and 1/4. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Number 5, I see another mixed number, so I'm going to change it. 3 times 2 is 6, and then I'm going to add the 2. That's 8. So I end up with negative 8/3. I'm going to put this over 1. Divided by negative 4 over 1. And I'm going to write this a little better because I don't like the way it's written. Then I can keep, change, and flip. Remember, you only keep, change, flip on division of fractions. So that's negative 8/3 times negative 1/4. So a negative times a negative is a positive. I end up with positive 8/12. I can divide both of these by 4. I end up with 2/3 in simplified form. All right, so I was going to make a video on all word problems for Friday. I'm not going to do it. So tomorrow you'll probably have like a little quiz assignment to work on, and I'll introduce the application problems when I get back to work on Monday. Just work on the homework now. Tomorrow you'll probably have a quiz assignment. All right, thanks guys.